Bless you. Hey y'all, welcome to week 5. This week we're talking about training through the tough days, and I needed a little comedic intervention because this topic can be rough. Yes. So this is my microphone and my microphone stand. Yes. All right. Let's get started. So some training days feel strong and smooth and others not so much. But here's the truth, y'all. Tough days are part of this process. They do not mean that you are failing. They mean that you're growing. Now, this week wasn't perfect. The weather was very hit or miss. It was very hot. Wasn't perfect. There were moments that I wanted to skip, like yesterday morning actually, which is Saturday, was Saturday. You'll see that coming up. I felt tired all week. I was unmotivated all week, and honestly just a little bit discouraged. Life is lifing right now, so I just really wasn't into it. But you know what I did do? I showed up. Sometimes I was slower than I wanted to be, sometimes later than I planned, like Saturday, and sometimes I just did what I could. And you know what? That is the win. Because training for something as big as the Dopey Challenge isn't about nailing every run. It's about building the strength to keep going even when it's hard. And guess what? On race days, it's going to be challenging. All right, so let's talk about the rough patches. Let's talk about mindset shifts and talk about the little tools that have helped me and hopefully will help you push forward. Because the journey isn't just about finishing the 48.6 miles. It's about proving that I and that you can keep showing up no matter what the week throws at us. Are you ready? Let's check out week 5. Something about crossing a marathon finish line that makes you want to do it again and again and again. Welcome to Season 3 of Dare to Dopey, my journey back to the most magical, ridiculous, and rewarding race challenge there is, the Dopey Challenge. That's 4 back-to-back days of running at Walt Disney World, a 5K, 10K, half marathon, and full marathon, all totaling 48.6 miles, and yes, 6 medals to show for it. This will be my 3rd time towing the line for Dopey, and each time I've come away with more than just medals. I've learned what I'm made of, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And as I dive into this next training cycle, I know that there's even more to uncover. The version of me from just a few years ago would never believe where I'm at now. But that's the power of setting big goals and daring to go after them, no matter how impossible they may seem. So if you're ready for early alarms, long runs, lessons learned, and Disney magic, let's lace up and do this together. This is Dare to Dopey Season 3. Let's see what we're capable of. Happy Monday! We are out at a different trail, walking. We are not running today. Why? Because we are listening to our bodies. Yes, we are. There is a difference between listening to your body and doing what it needs versus not listening and pushing through. One of those is a smart idea. The other is a not smart idea. We're choosing the smart idea for this one. So Saturday, that 5.5, late in the day, really pushed pace a lot for that distance. And I'm still very sore. Like my right leg is very tight. Not so much right now because I have stretched and whatnot throughout the day, but probably not the smartest idea to come out and run on a really tight leg and really sore hip flexors. Hence the walking. Why are you walking?
Because Friday, my right leg and hip decided to just randomly start hurting out of nowhere.
Did you break it?
No, but it felt like I had a fracture. That's how bad it hurt. And then today, it feels okay. But I'm not going to push it because I don't want to risk an injury.
Correct. That's why we don't push through pain. Obviously a dull ache or whatever, it's uncomfortable, but you can keep going. But if you have like a sharp pain and you can't walk, by golly, just stop. Just stop. Because I don't want you, and you don't want you, to do more damage by keeping on pushing, injuring yourself. I feel like we're in the utilidors under Magic Kingdom.
Where's Mickey?
Hello.
But on the flip side of that coin, you also don't want to be lazy.
Oh, I was like, there's a flip side to the utilidors? What's that?
No, there's a flip side to this coin. Listening to your body, you also don't want to, oh, my big toe hurts, I'm just not gonna run today.
Yes, yes. That's where being honest with yourself is very important. So 48.6 doesn't get itself run by being a wussy. Okay, okay.
Let's go run! Let's go run!
Happy Splash and Dash! Woo! Welcome back. It's Thursday. We went for a little splash. Y'all like my baby bun up here?
This little guy.
I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. It'll grow exponentially as this run progresses.
In the meantime, I look like a drowned rat.
We both do. It's 99 degrees here, feels like well into the hundreds. And we figured what better day to splash and then dash. Splash and dash. We haven't done this it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Okay, so the over-under on if we're gonna be dry by the time we're done. I don't know how betting works, so I don't really know what that phrase means, but
We're just gonna go with it.
we're just rolling with it, and I feel like we're gonna be dry by the time this 45 minutes is over. That's my bargain. Not a bet, it's a bargain. Those aren't the same thing, never mind. By the time we're done.
And I feel like since it's only like 36% humidity,
Degrees?
I wish,
I wish.
that we'll be dry by mile 1.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We're also gonna see more about training through the tough days today. Aren't you excited? I am. 1.9 in. My skirt is dry.
I'm still damp.
My skirt is dry. All right, let's talk about some tricks that we use in order to help us when we hit those mental blocks. One of the things that I use is I remember why in the tarnation I signed up for this mess.
Why, Kristen, why?
Thank you for asking. Because I wanted to prove to myself that I can do this crazy thing and change myself for the better and prove to people that if I can do it, you can do it, and to inspire people and encourage them. And what encouragement comes out of throwing in the towel? None. None. So when the mental blocks on the tough days happen, I remember the why. The other thing I remember is all those finish lines that I've crossed. All of them. And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But each one is really special, and they're each special for different reasons. And so sometimes I'll just look back at those finish lines and think about what I fought or who I fought, who I threw an elbow with in order to get there. And sometimes that's a fight with yourself. Let's be real. Remember why you're doing it, but then also remember your finish lines too.
One of the tricks that I used when I ran my marathons, and I taught this to Tara. She even made a shirt.
Yes, you did.
A marathon is 2 half marathons. It's 4 10Ks. it's 8 5Ks. So when you break it up like that, mentally, I can do a 5K, then I can do another 5K, and so on and so forth. When you break it into smaller increments, it makes it feel less daunting.
Yeah, it does.
I also use geography, especially when I'm struggling. Just make it to that tree. Just make it to that tree, or that light pole, or that car. And when I get to that object, then I can walk. Another one, but it's escaping me.
Run the mile you're in.
Oh yeah, run the mile you're in. Run the minute you're in.
Yeah.
You know, run the interval you're in. I remembered my third thing.
What is it? What is it?
It's the 10-minute rule. If you just do not feel like going out for a run, like you just, no. Go out for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. You can do anything for 10 minutes. And if after 10 minutes you just start feeling it, go home. But if after 10 minutes you're jiving and thriving, then you're already out.
I want that on a shirt. Jiving and thriving.
Jiving and thriving.
Man.
Follow that 10-minute rule. Just get out there for 10 minutes. And I have to use this on myself all the darn time because Mama don't feel like getting up early to beat the heat to go for a run.
I'm sensing some merch needing to happen. Wear the glitter. Jiving and thriving. Possibilities are endless. All right, we're over 2 miles in.
And we're still damp.
And we're still moist.
Ew.
Ew, I hate that word so much. I hate that word so much. But yeah, anyway. All right, we're checking in, end of the run. What part of you is dry?
Right here is dry.
Just that.
My shorts are still wet.
Okay.
The bottom of my shirt is still wet.
Okay.
Of course, my undies are still wet. My socks are dry.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
No blisters here.
No,
what about your hair?
Oh, yeah.
Hair is still wet. Okay. Okay. So, you know.
So we both lost the bet.
We did.
And that's okay.
That's okay. My hair is still wet. Sports bra is still wet. Skirt, not at all. Shorts, a little bit. Socks are dry. Shoes are dry. I mean, overall, not bad. Shall we splash and dash again?
Absolutely. Because
that was fun.
That made, number one, it was fun. And number two, it made this run very tolerable.
Yeah, because at one point I was like, I don't know if that's sweat running into my eyes or the pool water from my wet hair.
Yeah.
And I just chose to believe it was the pool water.
Mm-hmm.
And we just ran on our little merry way. So if you have a pool at your disposal, might we suggest
mm-hmm.
you splash
and a dash.
And a dash. Okay, see you Saturday. Today, Junior. Hi, friends. 3 miles on the roster today. I'm trying to stretch and hold this camera. It's not exactly working, but that's fine. Wrapping up week 5, 3 miles. Today we're going to keep talking about training through the tough days, and I'm going to share with you some insight, because goodness knows I've had some tough days. But right now it's 10:37 a.m. and it's already 88 degrees. Feels like 97. Yes, yeah. But silver lining, positive, humidity is only at 30%. So we're calling that a win. We're calling that, just for reference, when I got up earlier like around 8, I was like, should I go out now? And I looked and it was like 80 83 degrees. But the dew point was 71 and the humidity was 80%. And I said, no, I shouldn't. So training in the South, one thing you learn is it's going to be hot no matter what. So you have to be willing to trade off the humidity versus the more dry heat. And I much prefer a more dry heat. Anyway, okay, 3 miles. Let's go. Halfway through. Averaging in the 11s. What? Anyway, I paused because I cannot maintain that pace and talk to you. So I'm just going to talk to you for a second. Something that I wanted, a little secret. I know we've shared a lot of secrets so far in the video, but another one of the secrets that I like to do if I'm having a down or an off week is to do something that I love that makes me feel human again. And a lot of times that's putting on some makeup or going and walking around Target and letting Target tell you what you need. Or it's just going for a walk outside if it's not a blazillion degrees. Or it's calling a friend, or it's going to get coffee, or if you feel really down in a week, do something that makes you feel like a human again. That has always helped me. That even helps me during the race weekends. Like if I'm feeling super down, I'm gonna go grab a running and makeup from Joffrey's and feel human again. So, okay? Do something that makes you feel like you again. You know you best. I've shared some suggestions. If you have something that you like to do, share it down in the comments down below. All right, let's continue on in our 3 miles. Holy cow. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Oh my gosh. I just did that 3 miles. Average pace, 11:51. I don't know the last time I've run that fast. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm literally over here in the shade. Oh my ever lovin'. Oh my gosh. So much sweat. All right, last thing that I want to remind you, and today was prime example of that. One bad run, one bad week, 2 bad weeks. You know, that's a bad week. It's a bad run. It's a bad day. It does not mean that it's a bad training cycle. The real win, like I've mentioned a few minutes ago, the real win is still showing up. The real win is not letting the bad days or the bad runs or the bad, all of that stuff. Hold on. Oh my gosh, so much sweat in my eyeballs. There we go. Okay. I was in this really like deep moment and then my eyes were like, we're on fire. Anyway, bad run, bad week, bad 2 weeks. All of that does not mean it's a bad training cycle. So do not let the bad ones make you think that you're not going to succeed. The bad ones make the good ones, like this one was for me today, that much sweeter. All right? Wow. Well, that wraps up week 5. I'll see you next week for week 6. We are out of counting weeks on one hand. If you're using standard counting sign language, we could go for however long with one hand. So week 6, next week, week 6. Happy running. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you next week because we're talking about fueling. That's right, kids. Fueling. Not the gas in your car kind. the fueling for your body. All right. Love you, besties. Bye.